an MCL sprain in his left knee. So his LeBron-less Lakers, they're taking on the Blazers last night. And Davis, he showed up big time in the fourth quarter. He had 11 points, 8 of his 15 boards were in the final 12 minutes of the game. So the Lakers returned home with a win after going 2-4 on their Eastern road trip. And the big man star, he's averaging a cool 29.3 points per game over his last 3 games. So take a deeper look here. He's shooting 58% while getting over 10 boards and nearly 3 blocks per game. So with that said, we're back with Stephen A. Smith. And simply put, how much, Stephen A., can the Lakers rely on this version of Anthony Davis showing up night in and night out for them?
You can rely on Anthony Davis to put up similar numbers to that if he's healthy. The issue with him has never been his game. The issue with Anthony Davis is his health. You look at him and you're just waiting for the crash to happen.
Right.
What injury is going to happen next that takes him out for a few weeks or a few months or anything like that? Nobody's ever questioned his game. The closest anybody has come to that is looking at his perimeter shooting, which is like at 17% from three-point range, for example, saying what happened to his perimeter shot. But he was still averaging 24 and 10. This is what he's capable of doing. So when we look at Anthony Davis, in terms of him being on the court healthy, he is a formidable star that you have to contend with because he plays on both ends. He's going to block shots and he's going to rebound. The question is, can he stay healthy? And that answer almost religiously has been no, with the exception of the championship season in the bubble.
Right, but when he was healthy and accepting his role, because he spent a lot of time playing the 5 that season, what happened? You just mentioned it.
That's right.
He won a championship. So the third piece sort of that whole big 3 is Russell Westbrook. And he was just 1 point shy of a triple-double, but had a bit of an inefficient shooting night. He was the subject of a fictional trade proposal that was floated by our front office insider Bobby Marks on the Low Post podcast last week. So I'd like to bring in Bobby. Here he is now. Bobby, what was your proposed trade?
Yeah, the proposed trade was Russell Westbrook, DeAndre Jordan, and Kent Bazemore and a future first-round pick to New York for Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, and Alec Burks. And I think it's important to look at it in 2 ways. First, from the Lakers' perspective, having worked in the front office, the one thing we don't like to do is admit we make mistakes, right? We always want to do another deal to kind of compound it. And I think if you're looking at it from the Lakers' viewpoint, the Westbrook trade has been a mistake. And you take back 3 players that can help you now certainly with Walker, Fournier, and Burks. You have players like Ariza, DeAndre Jordan, Kent Bazemore. I mean, you have dead weight contracts that are just sitting there right now. And I know if you're a Knicks fan out there and you're saying, what do we need Russell Westbrook for, right? 2 words, listless and lethargic. That's where I see this Knicks roster. It doesn't hurt you financially because your next big time when you can have cap space is in 2023. You have 9 players that will still earn between 1.5 and 14.5 million. You've got all your draft assets. It's almost like next year could be a bridge year. And if that next disgruntled all-star like Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard becomes available, you still have all those trade assets to go out and make a deal.
Well, you said why should Knicks fans want to do it? And I can't even tell anymore if Stephen A. is a Knicks fan. He seems so on the fence about it. But since we have a sort of Knicks fan sitting right next to me, Stephen A., would you make that trade?
First of all, I got a problem. With Mr.
Just one?
I got a problem with Mr. Marks. Let me tell you something, man. You don't know that you sitting here making this proposal, this fictional proposal in front of a Knicks fan? And don't tell me you don't know I'm a Knicks fan, Malika Andrews. Why you think I'm so damn miserable? Because the Knicks are miserable. That's why, and they have a contagious effect that has contaminated New Yorkers and Knicks fans everywhere right now. That's the bottom line. So you're going to sit up there and call it the strong mark. You're going to sit up there with this fictional trade proposal. Could you do it with some enthusiasm? Could you stick your chest out? Could you say Stephen A.? We're going to ignore you for a second, Malika Andrews. Could you say Stephen A.? I got something for you. Could you make me feel better? Could you do that? You're sitting there, well, I mean, they could do this and they could do that. And I'm like, what? That's not going to help us have a decent year next year. I need your help, Sean. I need you to tell me, yo, listen. Bobby, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep calling you Sean. Bobby, I apologize, Bobby. I don't know why you keep telling me, hey, listen, here's what I'm saying to you. I like the thought of Russell Westbrook at the Garden. I like what you just proposed. I just need you to do it more enthusiastically because I know you know the damn NBA. And you saying it with just a monotone voice is making me say, wait a minute. is there something behind this that I don't know about? Because that's a decent damn proposal he's making there. But Bobby doesn't sound as enthusiastic as I expected you to.
Well, I wasn't sure what your reaction was going to be, so that's kind of why I was a little hesitant. But hey, here, he'll get you 45 wins. He'll do what he did in Washington. He'll get you to the first round. And I think what this roster is right now, I don't even know if it's a playing team. And they're not right now.
You're right.
Well,
right.
Part of the reason also that perhaps he didn't have more enthusiasm, which I love. You have to go listen to the entire Low Post podcast because there are so many interesting trades that you and Zach Lowe and Tim Bontemps that you all propose. But as Adrian Wojnarowski has reported, as Dave McMenamin has reported, Russell Westbrook is being viewed as an immovable piece. So as much as this is fun,
it's fictional.
It's fictional, and maybe that has something to do with the monotone.
No player in the NBA is untradeable.
That is
we
fair.
all know that.
All
no
I know is
player
that
untradeable.
all I know is that if Zach Lowe had said this to me on y'all podcast, he would have been smiling and trying to sell me.